Hello, welcome to Hope for Survival YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to the new followers and welcome back to the regular followers. Thank you for staying with us. I want to ask you a question. Where you're located, are you noticing that things seem different? Most of us who are into preparedness, we probably have our our antennas are a little more alert to things that are happening around us and nationally and around the world, and we pay more attention to changes, um, things that may change in price, the weather, and all different kinds of things. The reason I ask the question is one, I follow lots of podcasts and read lots of news sites, and I equally spend time on those sites reading a lot of the comments from individuals who are following the site. And one of the things I've picked up on over the last couple of weeks is males, females, and people apparently of all ages who are making comments that something is different, something seems different in their surroundings, something they're noticing. Some give details, some don't give details. They just talk about that their perception is something is different. I recently was sharing on the Hope for Survival Signal blog how here in East Tennessee, in my area, we received almost 10 inches of rain in May. But yet the ground, overall, the ground is still extremely hard. After all that rain in the garden, in raised beds, everything still seems to be dry. I can usually tell by the temperament of the plants, the color of the leaves, when they're getting plenty of water, they're a nice green color, and when they start dehydrating and needing moisture, the leaves will lighten in color. And I've noticed that in the last week and a half. I'm getting lots of flowers on the zucchini and squash and cantaloupe, watermelon, about the same. Getting lots of flowers, but there's nothing after the flowers. Tomatoes on the vines are staying green. I'm not seeing any color transformation to yellow or red. And I'm just kind of wondering, are you possibly seeing some of the same things where you're at? Some of the things I've noticed out and around that may or may not be driving. Some of these comments from individuals, with how business works, whenever there's changes to availability and things that impacts pricing, such as the tariffs now, the board members and stockholders are going to still get their projected amounts of money, and if that means raising prices on the consumer, they're going to do so. And then they'll make some lame excuse as to why prices are going up, i.e. the tariffs. But some of your large box stores are still reporting enormous revenues monthly and quarterly, but yet their prices have noticeably increased large amounts, 25 and 50% um, on items in the stores, whether it's food or hardware, camping, toys, kids. And many of these items are imports. Okay. So it would be easy to say, okay, well, the tariffs are impacting. But the part I have trouble understanding is if the imports are coming in at a higher price and the box stores are having to charge those prices, then I get it. But how do those items get here so fast? Normally, with an order and a supply chain, you're looking at 60 to 90 days, 120 days from order to origination, shipping back to the United States. And there's no way, because that time frame does not fit with the tariffs from when they've been applied, and adjustments, orders, and so forth. So are the companies gouging the consumer already before any of the new orders under the tariffs are even arriving to our country? So it's just something to keep your eyes on. Something else that's a little puzzling is the recent drone attacks by Ukraine on Russia, deep into Russia territory, the bombers that were taking out. It's still questionable how many and the impact, but it's the type drone that was used by Ukraine to penetrate Russian airspace without detection, and the inability to take these drones down. Which makes one wonder, did the technology change? Which it's being said that it went from a Bluetooth, Wi-Fi type weapon to an AI type weapon, which is not hackable and would penetrate airspace into the target. But where did Ukraine get these weapons from? Where did Ukraine get the technology from? Is it possibly from one of the NATO countries? Is it possibly that NATO country is the United States? And who holds the technology for that type capability? Which then says, is that NATO country or the United States using Ukraine as a pawn to strike Russia? Which then makes you ask the question, is that country, i.e. the NATO country, or the United States, NATO, continuing to throw gas on the lit fire to push President Putin to taking action, which would then justify an attack on a NATO country, which then under NATO agreements that all NATO countries would come together to defend whatever country that the aggressor attacks. So that goes against everything that our current president has stated in trying to work out peace deals and avoid war. So who's actually pushing the buttons, and are the agitators who are pushing for this war undermining, potentially undermining our current president? So the point being, along with, does something seem strange to you? Does something seem not ordinary? Who's pushing the buttons? What's actually going on? We have to be really, really careful right now as to uh, what we believe. Um, Foreign entities are pushing um, stories and news that's not accurate. AI is doing the same on the net. I come across numerous articles daily that can immediately detect they are AI driven, and the stories are 100% inaccurate. And oftentimes, one of the dead giveaways to it being an AI article that's false is the name that's printed um, as who published or posted the information. They're really wild, crazy names that are typically from a country somewhere in the Middle East. Um, they're just bizarre names. So that just doesn't, one, pass the test before you even start to read it. So, uh, so going forward, we all have to be extremely cautious and careful, and we got to stick to the knowns, what we know to be fact. We can't believe a lot, probably 50% or higher. We can't believe a lot of what we're being told, what we're hearing. I often see things posted that a source coming from podcast, a source on the inside. Well, to me, that's automatically a no-go. Wars, war plans, actions that a government is typically that they're going to take will be sensitive or classified, and unless someone within that is an anti-voice against the party in power leaks it out, um, most, if not all, of these podcasters are not going to have people on the inside. They're not going to have journalists on the ground in war zones in most cases. Just be cautious, okay? Um, a lot of these podcasters, news entities, they're wanting clicks. They're wanting clicks to drive the algorithm, which means more money. So stick to your faith. Keep preparing. Look around you. See what's different. See what doesn't pass the test. Look who's shopping. Look how much they're not buying in their buggies. It's telling you that things are getting tighter and things are getting tougher. We have fewer trucks on the road moving resources from ports and hubs to states. We're having more natural disasters coming out of nowhere. Um, Torrential rains, um, storms that just continue to occur, tornadoes that are hitting areas that are not typical, and now we're going into hurricane season. Um, Volcanoes going off. Some voices are saying at some point in the next 60 to 90 days, you're going to see some snow in areas that are not typical. Time will tell. And some voices are saying now that the rains are over, we're going to go into an extremely hot time period with no moisture. So it's not saying these things are true, but we've got to be prepared for if they do happen. And for many who depend on gardens and crops, how are you going to counter these dry periods? If you don't have rain barrels or if you run out of water, how are you going to are you going to truck in water from another location? What is going to be your plan? Don't wait till the last minute. Okay, we're seeing kind of a fire in the theater. going on right now where it happens and happens and happens, and people just kind of start ignoring it. But we don't know if these are possibly false runs, looking at soft targets, often looking at responses from authorities. Uh, how long does it take them to respond to an event, and so forth. They could just simply be dry runs gauging responses from authorities. But we've had a couple lone wolf attacks or attempted attacks, and this goes along with what Sarah Adams and Colonel Mann and a few others in the GWAT group have been talking about. So keep your head on a swivel, live your life, don't live in fear, just be smart, okay? Have a plan, know what you're going to do, and have a plan and know when to engage it, okay? Keep your eyes open, your ears open, and just be safe out there, okay? So if you like this information, don't forget to hit like, and if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe. Something is affecting the algorithms on our Hope for Survival YouTube site. I haven't had time to really look at it and try to figure it out, but it's just one of many things in the digital world that impacts platforms that are trying to get information out to people. You know, probably the best news, the best advice that can be offered is stay to what you know, lean into your faith, as Festus would say, and know where you stand, be strong, and keep building your preparedness bucket, and stay safe, okay? Until next time, it'll probably be about a week and a half before I can post again. I'm going to be offline for about 10 days starting tomorrow. And I'll post again as soon as that I get the opportunity. So be safe, be thankful, and don't forget to count your blessings. Bravo Echo out. Thank you for checking out the Hope for Survival YouTube channel. If you are new to Hope for Survival, you can check out our books at our webpage. Book 1, which is Hope for Survival, Getting You Prepared for Disasters, and Book 2, Hope for Survival, The Mindset, are both available for order on the website. We also offer the Hope for Survival football stick, which is a memory stick set up as a digital filing cabinet with files already loaded on there for you to digitally copy items such as deeds, auto transcript for ownership, wills, living wills, loans, banking information, items that if your home burned down or you had some form of a disaster, you could have all your important papers already digitally filed on this stick. All you do is simply drag the digital file into the appropriate preset folder so that you'll have it in the event of a disaster. You have to flee your home in a hurry, or also if you're away from home and you need critical information that's personal, if you have your memory stick with you, you can put it in your computer and pull that information up wherever you may be. Again, you can find these items to order at our website, https www.hopeforsurvival.com, or you can email me at preparedness101@protonmail.com, and I will try to help you out. Again, thanks for checking out the Hope for Survival YouTube channel. Hope to see you again.